Oh, that's a shadow, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Oh shit. Yeah, what is the message that you give it to me, please? Okay, where the previous episode left off. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since I watched the last episode, so I may forget some things, but I do remember. Yeah, I remember a fair bit of things. Um, so we know that she got a message, but we don't know who gave the message. Um, there's also the stuff with Heine, which we don't know who she is, we don't know what she is, but I have a feeling that that's the mother. Um, which I've also mentioned, like, may have something to do with her sister, Nagabo's sister. What else did I wrote? Oh yeah, Dr. Hishigata has a shadow in his clinic, so that's something. If you want to hear my thoughts, just watch the previous episode's discussion. I talked a lot in that previous episode. Okay, episode 6. Okay, that boy from earlier. Oh yeah, of course, from the boat. Duh. You know her. Wait a minute, this is not when the previous episode ended. No, this is from the previous timeline. Wait, what? Hizuru. Names, I cannot write all of them. 14 years, okay. Smart. But as I was saying, this isn't from when we left off before, because when we left off before, Shinpei was already ahead in time when he came back. So this was before. Okay. Tokiko? That Hizuru? She knows a lot of people. Ah. Okay. Yes, it does. Wait. Hizuru. I want to talk a lot about her, but I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for the discussion after the end of this episode. There's a lot of stuff going on with her character. Unknown number. So she left, and then Shinpei comes in. She was in the tree above. That time? Do tell. That's the sister. There's that name again. Oh, they covered it up. Okay. Dr. Hishigata? It was a nurse from the Hishigata clinic. Okay. Mm-hmm. There she is. Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Why indeed? Yeah, she's not your daughter anymore. That's the problem. They showed that flash of water again. It. Oh, wow. Okay then. So it wasn't just yeah, okay. It's the entire family is already caught.
小早川家の3人がみんな影やと。
ああ、間違いない。
Is he talking about... Is she talking to the old Gramps? Yes, she is! Okay.
違うな。私の知っている影とは。
Not the shadow you know. Jesus, those melons.
お前泣いてんのか。明日は雪降ら。
降るなら雨だろ。だが天気予報では明日は快晴だ。
Ushio?
前回の葬儀をリピートする。記憶だけを頼りに。この二人。
新平くん？
So this is after the fact.
昨日履いてたパンツって白か。
Okay, dude.
ほんま、どこ行ったんやろな。お姉ちゃん。
知ってるも何も影の病って名前つけたんは
Oh?
確かにある種の精神疾患が集団的に発生したのは事実だね。
Sure, Hishigata, sure.
それもしかしてヒズルちゃんやない？
私は知らんね。
Interesting reaction from Dr. Hishigata there.
ヒズルに連絡先聞いたらこんなもん渡されてよ。
これは
すまん、新平。ちょっとトイレや。
Alan. Well, he's dead. Nice knowing you, Alan. Nezu. Was Hizuru the one who is putting the under maintenance in the toilet? Could be. Because of her gloves. Ah, that was Miss Nagumo. That was cool. He's gonna shoot the shadow just to confirm it.
襲うならアランが一人になる時だ。17パターン想定していたが。
Calculated 17 different scenarios. Cool.
今隣でめっちゃどごい。
それになんで先生は影のことを知っている
Why indeed?
聞くことは山ほどある。
I have so many questions as well. In a different timeline, we have Ooh.
南雲先生
Why is she always upside down? And geez, those melons.
事実は小説よりもきなりとバイロンは言った。
Yes?
この結論に到達するのだ。
Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます。
君は今日7月22日を体験する
No,
の
it
が
is
初
not.
めてではない。 何度も繰り返しているのではなかろうか。
That is true.
つまり君はタイムトラベラーだ。
はい。
See, I was right. I was right. See, my memory isn't bad. No, he went back to this spot in the last episode, which is why I was confused when they showed this in episode 6, because this is when he came back the last time. So what is going on here? What's up? What's up with this? Right? What's up with this? No, seriously, what is up with this? Because I doubt that this is a continuity error. Because in a show with that is this precise when it comes to like details and how important information and like just the tiniest little detail is, that I don't know why they showed like this. I don't know why. Because this made me believe that this happened before the previous episode. But then every character, including Nagumo or Hizuru, is acting as if the previous episode already happened, because it already did happen. So I'm gonna save it for later. In fact, if it isn't a spoiler, you can say it in the comments, basically, to further explain things. If it is not a spoiler, if it is a spoiler and this is, if there is something to do with some time traveler shenanigan shit later on in the future, then don't spoil it. But if it isn't a spoiler, just let me know in the comments. I do have some things that I do want to talk about that in the discussion, so I don't know, maybe just wait until I actually discuss this moment in further detail after I finish watching episode 7. Alright, let's watch episode 7.
はい。
なるほど。だがおそらく名乗ったのは私ではあるまい。君は弟に会ったのか？
Excuse me? Younger? What? Haine? No. Nagumo?
出番だ。龍之介。
When she said brother, is she referring to herself? Is Nagumo Ryunosuke basically an alter ego of her?
私は14年前、この島である影と
Okay,
そいつに家族
backstory.
を殺された。
Okay. Haine?
それって。
それは言えない。私の正体に関わることだからだ。
True identity. Okay, smart.
影は家族を狙うさけな。いずれもこの島に帰ってきたら狙われる運命なんや。
But why family?
アランの影はもう生まれない。
Cannot be reborn.
影 影の病にかかっても生まれた影を殺せたらもう一緒なることはないんや。
Ah, okay. Okay then.
ほいでわしには免疫がある。せやさけわしの影を
Ah,
わしのことは信じてくれて構えんで。
私のことは信じない方がいいかもしれんがな。
あ、いえ、そんな。
my hands are dirty.
あと54時間です。
And that time limit is gonna be... That time limit is gonna shrink every time you die, which is a problem.
いいだろう。だが、家の中に入るのは私一人でいい。
先生どうしたんですか？ずっとなんか聞いてるみたいで。
あいつにはヒズルの時の記憶がね
ひ
えさき。
了解、お姉ちゃん。
What the fuck? So yeah, she does have like different personalities. Like I was saying, like alter egos.
ヒズル、夕食時にすんません。いや、すまない。
入ってもろて。
あ、どうぞ上がって。
Ooh. Getting to learn more about how the shadows communicate.
南雲先生は二重人格なんですね。
Oh, Jesus. Her head just...
二重人格。
先生がつぶやいた言葉です。君は弟に会ったのか？
当たらずとも遠からずちゅうと。
Close but not quite. Elaborate, please.
龍之介には影と戦うだけの力がある。
And probably the power to see clairvoyance into the future? Oh god.
ヒズルには双子の弟がおったんや。それが龍之介や。
Okay.
4年前、鷹の巣山であいつの死体が見つかった。
So that's why she was saying that her sister was the one who figured it out in episode 5.
外した。
Oh?
手応えはあった。
Strangling.
あの裏切り者の仲間。あなたほんまに人間？
ピースで奥の影を埋めば。
生意気。そうやね。そうすらよ。
Yeah. Oh god. Love the animation. So we've seen this before, but obviously in a very different circumstances.
無駄ですよ。コピーする光を放った後、あなたは数秒間身動きが取れなくなる。
つまらん。
Plan B. That's what I said. Just turn into a shadow. Ouch.
影はどうやら立体の方を掴まれていると潜れなくなるようですね。僕たち二人ではやはり失敗してましたね。
She said Boku instead of Watashi. Yeah. Boku is a more male. Yeah. You know the difference, right? Boku and Watashi. Yeah, I don't need to further explain it.
お前が小舟牛を殺し、その影を生み出したのか。
Wow, that smile.
殺したよ。私が首絞めて殺した。
Hold it. Keep it together.
なんで牛をお前らは何をしてるんや
Why indeed?
終わりやねん。この夏でもうおしまいやねん。
The end.
せやから帰るんです。家族で帰るんです。
So I'm leaving.
新平さん、勘違いしてますよ。人間
The
の
eyes.
私は確かに影に殺されたけど、影は私を完璧にコピーしたんですよ。体も心も記憶も。だから私は小早川しおり。
But I'm the exact carbon copy though. I have her memories, I have everything. It's a fun little argument about if it's the exact same thing, is it still the same thing? I think I talked about this in like episode 1 or 2. Okay.
ここまでにしときましょうか。あまり影と長く話すと惑わされてしまいます。
And you'll only be misled. So what about Ushio though? Is she misleading him too? Obviously not.
コピーが本物の人間と同じように振る舞うなんて
Yeah.
完璧なコピーはオリジナルと何が違うのか。
では初めましてですね。南方龍之介です。南方ひずるの弟だったものです。きっと姉の照れ隠しです。
Turns back.
大丈夫かおい。
大丈夫じゃない、声が貧弱だ。影の姿と言葉に心を動かすな、網代新平。
I'm imagining the voice actors were like doing this when they're recording this. It's kind of fun.
ごめんみよ、遅なった。
Shit. Fuck you, show. Why did they have to do that?
おいおいみよ、すごい腹の虫やな。そんなにお腹空いてんの？
So I think these are a good set of episodes. Again, summertime rendering so far has been very it's been very consistent throughout. Solid episodes, solid animation, solid music overall. Nothing too major, but it is still a good episode nonetheless. Again, can't really talk about the pacing because I'm not a manga reader, but from an anime perspective, I still think that the pacing has been fine so far. Like, I don't think they're rushing anything, and I feel like because these two sets of episodes are heavily focusing on Hizuru and Ryunosuke, it kind of goes to show, like, yeah, if they want to slow the pacing down, you know, they can, and to good effect, like just to give further backstory and insight on a certain character that has always been a mystery for us. So yeah, good set of episodes. Again, nothing too major in terms of like some of the deep underlying story about the shadows and everything. Well, they kind of talked about it a bit, but it's also something that I've also talked about in the previous episode, in previous episodes. But yeah, overall, good episodes. But let's go back to episode 6 and let's kind of discuss and talk about the episode scene by scene. So we start episode 6 by heavily immediately focusing on Hizuru. So she walks out. We see that her shadow, the person's shadow, is bending. Right, immediately. Yep, that's a shadow. And these are sort of things that you can kind of miss when you first watch, because again, it happens like snap. It happens so fast. Like if you don't fully pay attention, you may not actually see it, but it is there. So yeah, kind of goes to show like yeah, this place, shadows are everywhere, and you should be very, very careful. Something that was also mentioned was the message that she got, right? This phone call, this message that she got. We don't know who it's from yet, as far as I can tell, because it's still unknown. But it is something that has been hinted at. One thing that again that I was talking about when I finished episode 6 was this. I was kind of confused at first, and I still am, because they're showing events that has already happened in the past. Yes, I get that. And these are all stuff that is happening, like that has already been, I would say, predetermined, because again, Shinpei has gone back in time, but this time he went back further. No, not further in time. I guess he went back in time, but it's more closer to the present, right? Right? So we see this happening, and yet, where was it? Yeah, this is clearly meant to be set after episode 5, which is when Shinpei went back in time with all of the memories that happened in the festival. But the anime kind of I don't know why they showed this, because this happened in the previous loop and not the current loop. Continuity error? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened here. So, we move on. We go to the funeral, and already the first person that we saw inside the funeral, apart from Hizuru, who is in focus, is Dr. Hishigata and his entire family. There's So, and there's what's his name? Toki. And this is also something that I was questioning about. So if we skip forward a bit, they were talking about how the marks on Ushio's neck is covered up, possibly by a nurse at the Hishigata clinic, right? What if it's actually Toki though? And the reason why I say this is because in the previous episode, when Shinpei meets Toki at the staircase, once the once the festival kicks in and everybody's dying, I remember vividly that Toki said, "This is not why I dirtied my hands." Why the fuck would you want to say that if you are innocent, right? That is not something that an innocent person would say. In fact, let me just go back and open episode 5 just to hear this. Crying, "This isn't why I dirtied my hands." And then she dies. If that isn't sus, I don't know what is. And the fact that in this episode, in episode 6, we also get information that yes, somebody is messing up with Ushio's body. Dr. Hishigata is already coming in and say, hey, don't play with the dead. But we know Dr. Hishigata is also very sus. We know he's a human, but he is working with the shadow. We don't know why, we don't know who. But he does have information. He knows things that we do not. So, yeah. Who dressed the body? It was a nurse from the Hishigata clinic. Who's the nurse though? We don't know. And this could also just be a stretch, but where is it? There was a shot later on. Here, when everybody's sitting around, we know he's a shadow. We know she is a shadow. We know she is a shadow. But Toki is sitting right next to them. And she is looking at her. Why? Why is that the case? Why is that the case? She is also the one who is first running away. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm just very, very sus on her right now. She is... Again, there's no definitive proof, but I think it's fair to say that there's something is... She is hiding something. You don't just say, I did not dirty my hands and just get away with it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Anyways, I was skipping a bit for a few scenes there. So, we learned that Hizuru knows about Ushio. We know that everybody in this place knows Hizuru. And everybody seems to have like sort of a relation with her. So again, goes to show that how she used to be a resident of this island, right? And at the same time, her brother died. So it would make sense why a lot of people would know about her and why the shadows are going after her. And speaking of flashbacks, we now learn that Nagumo Ryunosuke is actually two people. It is actually Minakata Hizuru and Minakata Ryunosuke. Nagumo is more like a pen name, you know, authors and all. Ryunosuke died by a shadow. And I'm going to assume the shadow that killed Ryunosuke is the one named Haine. And the one named Haine is, I'm still pretty sure, is the mother. What makes it interesting for her, for Hizuru, is the fact that once Ryunosuke dies, Hizuru kind of develops this dual personality, where her brother becomes a part of her for some reason. I don't know how far the story is going to dive deeper into that, but I would appreciate if they actually did, dive deeper into how all of this came to be, because I think it's very interesting. It's one of those, I guess, it's one of those characters that I find very interesting to watch and dissect and study, because you don't get a lot of these types of characters. So I'm kind of glad that we are kind of exploring it in a way. This could be a trauma thing where because Ryunosuke dies and Hizuru cannot live without him, she develops this personality, probably. And they did kind of mention this in the next episode when Ryunosuke is saying that he only pops up whenever Izuru has to deal with something that she doesn't like, right? We've seen this, we've already talked about this. Dr. Hishigata being sus as always, everybody is a shadow, don't trust anyone. And this scene is... I know you're probably thinking that I'm going to be talking about her melons. No, I'm actually going to talk about her glasses. How the fuck is she able to have those glasses stay perfectly on her head, upside down? These glasses are defying the laws of gravity right now. What the fuck? At least her melons are like actually being pulled by gravity, but these glasses, what the fuck? How? But again, it's a nice scene showing emotion without showing emotion. We get a glimpse of Ushio. We don't know where she is going. And the rest of the episode is basically Shinpei revisiting and reliving his life again. But here we also realize that, yeah, Shinpei knows about a bunch of stuff from the previous episode, which is why I was confused on why they would transition to Shinpei waking up in the pier instead of on the road, which was where he was supposed to be at by the end of the previous episode. Blah 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 blah. Unnecessary fan service again. And the episode ends with basically Shinpei finally meeting with Nezu. I finally got a name for the old Grams. Meeting with Nezu, meeting with Hizuru, which I still don't know why she is upside down all the time. It is a cool character trait, but why? And then that's it. That's the end of the episode. And then we move on to episode 7. In episode 7, we mostly, again, cover more on Hizuru and Ryunosuke's flashback. We kind of learn more about their character. Again, obviously, she knows about some of the shadows and some of the way the shadows work, especially when it comes to Shinpei and the time travel shenanigans. We don't know to what extent she knows, but we know that she knows a lot of information. So we get this cool little action set piece where Ryunosuke is basically fighting off against the shadows. Love some of the animation work that they put onto this set piece, especially when it comes to when she is basically bashing their heads around. Some of the animation was expressive, and you can definitely feel the impact, which I really appreciate. I think it's also very clever of them to basically have the action sequence going on while Shinpei and Nezu is basically talking about exposition for the audience to know. Again, not that I hate exposition, it's just that I think this is just a better way to give exposition than just them talking. Like with this, we're actually seeing both action, and then we are also hearing the information. Plus, it also kind of makes sense because Shinpei doesn't know anything about Hizuru and Ryunosuke, so it makes sense why he is asking these questions, why Nezu is giving them these answers, basically exposition. But don't mind it. In fact, it's kind of necessary in this sense. So cool action sequences, love it. And then we get this. Why are you doing this? Why? And the answer is The end. The end? The end. All good things must come to an end. The end is coming this summer, so I'm taking my family away. Is she referring to the end as in the festival, or is there something more? What if the festival isn't the end? What if that is the start of the end but not the actual ending that she is referring to? We don't know. And it's also very interesting in this scene where her eyes basically went back to normal. And it's the whole idea of I'm still the same. I'm still Shiori. I'm still that same girl. I'm just more evolved. Like, it is, again, it's a very interesting situation and, I guess, argument to be had. Like, if you copy something and it's the exact same copy, would you still consider that to be the original? I mean, obviously not, it's the copy, but if the copy is the exact same thing as the original, would you say that it is authentic or not? I don't know, it's a very interesting argument that I'm not gonna dive deep, because that's just gonna open a huge rabbit hole for me to discuss, and I'm not willing to dive deeper into it just yet, especially this early on in the show. But yeah. Yeah. If you do want to learn about it, you can just go to Wikipedia and whatever. But it just goes to Shinpei's struggle with Ushio, because Ushio is a shadow. But again, if it is the same, it's practically the same person. It's the same way she acts. She knows a lot of stuff. She basically has the same memories of the original Ushio. So even though if this Ushio is a shadow, would you say it is technically the real Ushio? Obviously not, but again, she has everything the real Ushio has and more. So that leads us directly to the end of the episode that completely flabbergasted me, because I wasn't expecting this at all, and the episode ends. I hate it. I hate the cliffhangers. It's getting to me. Yeah, the cliffhangers are getting to me. Getting Attack on Titan vibes all over again when it comes to like cliffhangers. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously, Shinpei has become very cautious, very worrying about everybody else who is in his life and in this island. The more he lives in here, the more he cannot really trust everybody, which again adds more tension on whether or not if the person that Shinpei is talking is real or not. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to my discussion for episode 6 and 7. Sorry that I basically just kind of, I don't know, yeah, the discussion for this set of episode isn't really my best in my opinion, because it mostly deals with Hizuru and Ryunosuke and the fact that they are like the same person but with split personality, and that's pretty much it. There's really not much for me to say in this episode other than very surface level stuff. Yeah. Good set of episodes though, but nothing too major when it comes to like some of the philosophical stuff, which is kind of funny because in this scene Hizuru basically made fun of it. Also, this was a funny, yeah, this thumbnail. Yeah. Also, I do wanna mention this because this is a very Hizuru Ryunosuke focused episode. Yeah, I really love her character a lot. I think she is probably the most interesting character in the whole show, and I hope they can deliver and expand and develop her character a lot more in future episodes. I love her personality. I love her overall mood and demeanor when it comes to like interactions with all of our main cast of characters. I love her sense of humor. This is Hizuru basically saying my vocabulary is weakening. I kind of like that because she is an author. She wrote, you know, she wrote the book, and the fact that she is saying like my vocabulary is weakening, it's kind of funny. Not gonna lie. And then she also mentions, where is it? Yeah, save the philosophical talk of copies and originals for after everything is finished. Well said, and will do. I'm not gonna talk about it until this show ends, I guess. No, but yeah, some meta jokes here and there from Hizuru. I love it. But yeah, overall, good sets of episodes. I really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed my reaction and my discussion as well. I don't know how. Again, when it comes to summertime rendering, the episodes, I don't know. When it comes to like my reaction and my uploads, it's not going to be very consistent. I'll always try my best to upload on the same day it is available, but at the same time, I cannot really make that promise because weekends are very jam-packed with a lot of other shows and anime that I'm currently watching, so not gonna make any promises, but then again, I'll try my best. Also, if you do have anything you want to say in the comments, please just let me know. If you want to give any little fun facts that isn't in like in the anime, but it's not, as long as it's not spoilers, go ahead. But don't give me like major hints or whatever, you know. But if you do want to correct me on some things that isn't really spoiler-ish, go ahead in the comment section. It's perfectly fine. Plus, if you do have anything you want to discuss in the comments, again, let me know. So yeah, that's pretty much it for summertime rendering. Hope you guys enjoyed my reaction and my discussion. And if you do, hit the like and subscribe. And I will see you all next time for episode 8. Take care, guys.